Hi guys, welcome back. Today I have another SUQQU video for you. If you saw my first SUQQU video on their 2021 spring collection, we looked at two eyeshadow quads and a liquid lipstick with a matte finish. It's actually what I have on today as well. This is in the shade Harugumo. In today's video, we're going to take a look at another quad and two blushes they released as part of their spring collection. We have first the quad Harugumo. This is a limited edition quad. Of the quads they released for spring this year, this is the only one that is limited edition. If you're interested in getting this, I'll have all the information below. And the good news is, starting February 4th, other retailers in the UK will also carry the spring collection. So if this is sold out when you check today at Selfridges, don't worry. It's possible they're going to get a restock, and in addition to that, other retailers will have it as well, so keep your eyes peeled. And of course, I will share any stock information as this becomes available with other online sites on my Instagram account. And the two blushes released for the spring collection are both limited edition. We have this here, which is SUQQU, and this is Sakura Hikari. I've actually never tried any of SUQQU's pure color blush. I've tried their blushes before, but not in this kind of single compact. I have the shade one on each side of my cheek, and I will say it is beautiful. I think it's such a soft wash of color that you can't really go heavy-handed. You can't really make a mistake, and it somehow it just blends out for you as you apply it on the cheeks. Like, that's how soft and beautiful it melds into your skin. So what we're gonna do before we head on to the demo for today's look is we'll do swatches of the quad and of the blushes. I will also take out my SUQQU blush compact and we'll do some comparison, because the color payoff, the texture is totally different from these blushes versus what's in the blush compact. First, we're going to start with the quad. We have these two kind of burnt orange shades here. This shade is a satin matte, and this is a metallic. Then these two, shimmer shade, and this is a deep metallic. It almost looked periwinkle to me, but it's actually a bit deeper than that. Kind of has some purple undertone to it. It's like blue and purple. This is the burnt orange metallic. I think it's gorgeous. And this is the satin matte. Shimmer shade. And the deeper metallic. Just gorgeous. Soft color payoff, but very pigmented. And they blend out like a dream. If you ever feel like, oh, I went too heavy-handed with this deep shade, just continue to blend. It'll resolve itself, it'll blend out, and you'll still get a really nice wash of color with any of the shades, except for the shimmer. The shimmer, it is more of a topper, so there's not much color payoff or pigmentation to it. If you haven't seen my other SUQQU video, I will put a link above, but in my first video I did mention all of the eyeshadow quads, they're a new formula. They're different from the previous SUQQU eyeshadows. I don't have any of their older quads, so I can't speak to the difference. I do think this new formulation is great quality. The shadows are easy to work with. Again, soft color payoff, but still pigmented. That's kind of like the signature or the magic of SUQQU eyeshadows. And I just took out another quad that I bought part of this spring release. This is 03 Hikarigure. Hikarigure and Harugumo are not exactly similar. One is a lot warmer than the other. So the two orange shades here are much warmer than these brown and gold shades. But still, I just want to do a comparison of this shade here against this, so you guys can get a sense of like what I mean by pigmented but a soft color payoff. And while we're at it, for comparison, and we'll also hold up this here. This is 05 Ake Kage. Gray, brown, and red, brown and gold. And this one here, orange and purpley blue. Just beautiful. The difference between all of these, like when you see them in person, you can really appreciate how different they are from each other and just how stunning these color stories are. And swatch the shade here from Hikarigure, and this is also a satin matte. And I'll just put it right here. It's actually a lot softer than Harugumo's satin matte. Interesting. But I think it also blends a little bit more into my skin than the orange shade up here. Going into the blushes, I'm first going to swatch a bit of this really light side of the blush and just want to show you. It's like a beigey, shimmery shade. And I don't think you'll be able to see it on my wrist. Oh, maybe just a little bit. It adds like the slightest sheen, and it's very satiny, it's very soft to the touch. And then let's swatch the pink. Also a satin finish, very beautiful. So those are the two separated. Now I'm going to go in and just combine the two colors. This is kind of what you get, a blend of the two. I think you get a stronger sheen when you blend the two. I can tell the difference when I look at it like this, but on camera, it's barely noticeable. It's such a soft payoff. So this is where I have just the pink, and right up here is where I have these two blended together. It's also what I have on the left side of my cheek. It's so soft. You can tell I have blush on when you look at it like this, but it's just so soft, this payoff. Like there's the slightest kind of this shift of pink when I turn my cheek. Now for the orange blush. This is the kind of beigey, shimmery part. What I couldn't tell just by looking at it like this is if the two kind of beigey parts are the same. I do think this has a bit of an orange undertone. However, once I swatch it, I can't really tell. So let me just put it on my arm. This is just with that beigey shimmer shade. And this is just with the orange. Blends right into my skin because my arm is darker than my face. Now I'm going to combine both like I did with the pink blush. Oh, it's hard to see. Like with the pink blush, it does look less concentrated in that color, but it has more of a sheen to it because it's mixed with the lighter shade. And it is what I have on the right side of my cheek. I love this. It's so beautiful. It goes really well with Harugumo. I also think it would go well with Hikarigure. And I think for Ake Kage, I do think the pink is gonna go better. Although they're so soft, I think even if you decide to go orange, it's still gonna be a good match. Like it can't be offensive or take away from your eye look. So I did mention earlier that I will take out my SUQQU Blush Compact, which has several shades. There's 3 matte shades and then 3 shimmers. This one is more like a highlighter to me, and perhaps this too, but it's pretty pigmented. You'll see what I mean. I will swatch all 6 of them. They all kind of have a sheen to them like these blushes here, except with the Blush Compact of the 6 shades, these are much deeper. This compact was released for the fall, so you have plum shades and deeper shades in general. And the payoff tends to be more intense as well. It's much softer with the spring releases. And whenever I apply these on my cheeks, I always have to be mindful. I get a lot of color, a lot of concentrated color, so I always have to be mindful. And then these shades here, you're going to see very pigmented. This is suitable as a highlighter, but these two here, I just have to be really careful. I played with this shade not too long ago and just realized it was just too deep for me. It was just way too deep. However, I do think overall this color story, very medium to deep skin tone friendly, which is exciting. I just love looking at this here, this terracotta shade, this purpley plum shade, and this deeper pink. These work for me, and this works for me as well. It's just this one here is a bit too deep. So this is the light highlighter, the deeper kind of metallic. It's beautiful though. You could probably use this as an eyeshadow, and same with this as well. Probably more like an eyeshadow for me. There you go. Beautiful. All these SUQQU colors. Well, with the comparisons done, let's head on to the demo. I'll see you guys at the end. I'm taking this shade here and putting this all over the crease. Then I'm adding this shade here, right below the crease, and building it towards the center of the lid. And I'm going to go in and blend the crease shade with the kind of deeper burnt orange shade that I just added on. I don't need the two to be completely blended in. I still want, you know, when I look at it to be able to tell there's some layering going on here, but it can be more of a gradient effect. Then I'm taking this shade here and we're adding that above the lash line. And I want to smoke out this deeper shade towards the outer corners like this. With a finger, I'm dipping into this kind of light blue shimmery shade, and I'm adding that onto the center of the lid. I'm just really testing the effect and payoff. It's really pretty light. I'm going to go back in for a second application. It's still very light, so now I'm going to try with a brush to see what kind of effect I'm going to get. I'm going to take the Jumbo Blender here, and I did pick up quite a bit of product. I'm just going to tap off. Like with any shimmer shade or metallic shade, if you use your finger, it is more concentrated. When I apply that same shade with a brush, it's blended in a little more rather than kind of just sitting on top. So I'm gonna go in with my finger and try to balance both sides. And then now I'm going to blend this shade a bit more in the outer corners. And now I'm going to take this pencil brush. This is from Sonia G's Pro Eye Set. We're dipping back into the deep shade here, and I am drawing a line above the upper lash line because I want the shade to be pretty concentrated. For under the eyes, I'm going to go back into this deep shade here, and we're just adding a little bit of this on the corners. And we're putting this shimmer shade on the inner corners to brighten up. So we'll first start with on the right cheek. SUQQU. I'm taking a very fluffy brush. I'm gonna swipe a few times, tap off the excess, and just brush this on. It's a very, very light color payoff as well. So I'm gonna go back in. This time concentrating on more of the orange. And then I'll go back in once more, still concentrating on the orange shade. I think this is really beautiful, this orange. With a different fluffy brush, I'm gonna now try pink. So same thing, first time, a few swipes like this, tap off excess. And now I'm gonna go back in and focus on the pink. I feel like the pink is even softer than the orange, but we're gonna go back for a third application. My preference is with 3 applications. I do want to see the blush a little bit more, but it's just very soft and very beautiful, actually. It is very much like watercolor. How it just kind of goes on. It's a hint of color, you can definitely see it, but it's just very light, very, very easy on the eyes, and just complements your skin. Yeah, I think it looks really pretty. I do think I prefer the orange. Again, paired with Harugumo, I just think it's a better match. But, you know, if I didn't have the orange one to compare, I think the pink still is a very universal shade. It would go well with any of the color stories. It's just so soft, it couldn't really take away from your eye look. For lips, I haven't decided if I wanted to go bright or do something that's more subdued and therefore matchy-matchy. What I have here is also released for the spring collection is SUQQU's Lip Fluid Comfort Fog. Has a matte finish. This is in the shade Harugumo. I'll just swatch it really quickly here on my hand so you can see. I mean, it'll go right with the look. I've worn this a few times and I really do enjoy the shade. It's just so comfortable. The other option I'm considering is a lipstick from Sicily. And this is bright. This is called Orange Ibiza. So both have kind of like an orange undertone. This one's more terracotta, but this is definitely bright orange. And I'm just tempted to do something a little bit different. Maybe, okay, let's just go with bright and we'll see. If it doesn't turn out or it's like a little bit too much and it takes too much away from the eye look, then we could wipe that off and go for this here. I do think this lipstick goes well with the eyeshadow and the blush, the orange blush. It is definitely something I would wear during the summer, or if I'm in the mood for something really colorful. You can always wear color in any season, but I am curious how this look is gonna be if I tried something more subdued. I'm going to wipe this off and I'll come back and apply Harugumo, the matte liquid lipstick, for comparison. I do like how the look turned out with this lipstick. I like both the bright orange and then this more terracotta shade. Interestingly, every time I sit down to do my makeup, I'm always leaning towards terracotta shades. I prefer blush with a bit of orange in it, eyeshadow looks that are a bit more orange and warm. That has to do with the releases that I've purchased recently. They all kind of tends toward this like warmer orange, like earthy colors. And what I have in mind too is this Chanel blush. They released this for their spring collection. And the blusher highlighter duo, you've got some orange in here. Same thing with this highlighter. It's so beautiful, and I just want to grab for this every time. This pairs well with the lipstick, and this will pair well with the eye look. So yeah, I know that these are all spring collection releases, but I feel like this is a suitable color for the winter time, just to add like a touch of warmth, but it's not too bright that you would think, oh, it's more like a summer look. So I'm just gonna add some powder contour, and then I'll come back to give my final thoughts. This is the finished look. Well, I was really excited to finally get my hands on Harugumo during Selfridge's second restock. And I know some of you guys had been waiting, so I hope you were able to get all the quads and everything that you had wanted from the spring collection. What really surprised me pleasantly are the blushes. I've never tried their blushes in this, pure blusher compact, and I just think they're absolutely beautiful. My only experience with SUQQU blushes, as I mentioned earlier, was with this compact, and as you can see with the swatches, the color is just more concentrated, and I really didn't know what to expect going into these two blushes. I knew they were going to be softer. I've seen photos, I've read reviews, but they really are very beautiful. My recommendation is, if you do have medium to deep skin tone, is the orange blush if you're interested. The colors are buildable, so right now, and this was like after I had filmed the tutorial and the intro to this video, I actually added a fourth application. So it is buildable. You can add a fifth. It's not going to look cakey, it's not going to look too much still with a fifth application. So it is buildable, but I do think the orange is more of a universal color that's going to fit people with very fair, light skin tone all the way to deeper skin tones. As for Harugumo, I am amazed by this metallic shade. This is the most concentrated pigmented shadow from SUQQU that I have seen. I don't have any of their other compacts, or the quads I should say, but I do have like their Christmas or holiday eyeshadow compact. This is the most pigmented shade, and I think it's beautiful. It is the right shade for it to be super pigmented. You could even apply this shade all over your lid and blend out. It could be your one and done, or it could be your two and done. You use this as an all over shade and top some of this for that added dimension and shimmer, and then you're good to go. When I look at all three quads that I have, so I just want to hold them up again for you guys to see. We have 03 Hikarigure, 05 Akekage, 101 Harugumo. I gotta say, this one is my favorite. It's just the unexpected pairing of this burnt orange with the periwinkle blue purpley, cloud-like shades. This does really remind me of a cloud. It's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And while I really love this pairing too because it's unexpected, red and brown gray, I do think it's probably easier to put together looks using Harugumo than the gray, brown, and red shades. And then finally for 03, I've said this a couple of times, I don't have yet a dedicated video. I don't know if after this you guys are all SUQQU'd out for their spring release. I might still go and make a dedicated video, but I did actually go in and create a look with this and pair it with this lipstick. It goes well, it's beautiful. I actually paired it with my Chanel Fleur de Printemps. It looks really, really pretty. This is what I would call, more of your fundamentals color. It's like more neutral, gold and browns, but you just don't have to think about it. Pick any shade, pick all the shades, use all the shades. It's gonna come out very beautiful, very natural. And yeah, so I really still enjoy this quad for those reasons. It's just easy. You can pick it up if you're in a hurry. you know you're going to create beautiful looks from it. So there is my review of the SUQQU 2021 spring collection again, with some extra products added in. I also have my eye on some of their eyeliners. They did release was it a red or orange liquid liner that's limited edition for this spring collection. They also have a brown eyeliner that's more like a khaki color, and I'm so interested in that. And then a gray eyeliner. I might come back with another video about those eyeliners. I don't know. We will see. We will see. But there's only so much from the collection that I am ready to purchase right at this time. If it's any help at all, only this quad is limited edition. I know I mentioned it at the beginning of this video. So if you have your eye on any of the other quads, those are going to be permanent color stories. So maybe you just want to get this now and then pick up the other ones later on. That's definitely more doable, which is something I might do. I might pick up some of the other quads later on, maybe when Cult Beauty is having a sale later this year. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you also enjoyed this SUQQU video. If you haven't seen my first one on this collection, I'll link it right at the end. I will see you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.